Happens when one of Hollywood's most no-nonsense action stars sits down with daytime television's most outspoken host, and everything goes completely sideways. You're about to find out, and trust me, you've never seen anything like what went down on The View that day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is absolutely wild. Jason Statham walked onto the View set that morning expecting a routine promotional interview for his latest film. The British action star, known for his roles in the Fast and Furious franchise and countless other high-octane movies, had done hundreds of interviews like this over the years. What he didn't expect was for Joy Behar to go on the attack the moment the cameras started rolling. Joy began with her familiar smirk. She said she had to ask about something that had been bothering her, then bluntly suggested that Jason's movies were basically violence porn, questioning when he would finally make something with real substance. The other hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Sarah Haynes, and Sunny Hostin, shifted uncomfortably in their seats. This was not the warm welcome guests usually received. Jason leaned back calmly and raised an eyebrow. In his distinct London accent, he responded that it was a narrow view of his work. He pointed out that his films employ thousands of people, entertain millions worldwide, and often tell stories about loyalty, family, and standing up for what's right. He questioned how that could be dismissed so easily. Joy wasn't backing down. Leaning forward with a condescending tone, she argued that his characters just drive fast cars and punch people, asking where the art, social commentary, or responsibility was. She pressed him on whether he felt obligated to use his platform for something more meaningful. When Whoopi tried to step in, Jason stopped her, saying he was genuinely curious to hear Joy's definition of meaningful entertainment. Joy continued, accusing his films of glorifying toxic masculinity and sending harmful messages to young boys by portraying macho men who solve everything with their fists. The studio fell completely silent as the tension thickened. Jason repeated the phrase, toxic masculinity, slowly, then pointed out the irony of hearing that criticism from someone whose career he felt was built on attacking people on television. Joy fired back, insisting she was holding people accountable. Jason, still calm but visibly tightening, questioned whether tearing apart someone's life's work without understanding the process really counted as accountability. Sarah attempted to redirect the conversation toward Jason's stunt work, but Joy interrupted, doubling down on her critique. She accused his movies of selling the fantasy that violence solves problems and claimed that intelligent actors like him should choose to do better. Jason clasped his hands tightly and responded that it was rich to hear someone dismiss action films as artless, while indirectly insulting the intelligence of millions of fans worldwide. When Joy clarified that she wasn't calling the fans stupid, only the movies irresponsible, Jason shot back that the blame still landed squarely on him for choosing to make films people actually want to watch instead of pretentious art house projects few people see. Sunny tried to mediate, but Joy shut her down and continued, accusing Jason of taking easy money and repeating the same mindless action roles instead of challenging audiences or addressing real social issues. That word, mindless, hung in the air. Jason stood up. The sudden movement shocked everyone. His voice remained controlled, but the edge was unmistakable as he said that mindless was sitting behind a desk taking cheap shots at people who actually create something. Mindless was believing her opinion mattered more than the millions who chose to spend their hard-earned money watching his films. Joy told him to sit down, calling him ridiculous. Jason refused, saying it looked like he'd been invited under false pretenses. This wasn't an interview. It was an ambush. He accused her of insulting his work, his choices, and his fans. When Whoopi tried to regain control, Jason insisted they continue, directly asking Joy what she had personally contributed to entertainment beyond criticizing others. Joy snapped back, saying she'd been in the business longer than he'd been alive. Jason cut her off, saying longevity didn't equal contribution. He spoke about creating characters that inspire people, making films families enjoy together, and working with stunt teams and filmmakers who push creative boundaries. Then he asked her again, "What do you do?" The other hosts looked panicked as producers scrambled offstage. Sarah made one last attempt to redirect, but Joy insisted on finishing the argument. She claimed her contribution was holding people accountable and asking tough questions other interviewers were afraid to ask. Jason laughed coldly, accusing her of amateur psychoanalysis and enjoying making people uncomfortable. Joy stood up too, furious, defending her decades of questioning culture and society. Jason countered that her job was supposed to be entertaining and conversational, not a platform for pushing her own agenda and centering herself. Joy argued that her agenda was elevating the conversation beyond what she repeatedly called mindless entertainment. Jason pointed at her, calling out the phrase again. He said the truly mindless idea was believing entertainment had to be miserable to be meaningful, that making people laugh or giving them an escape from their problems was somehow beneath respect.